And that was on way, of course, to placing second in the points last year. We're getting set for our second moto of 1998 from Redbud. Let's see who will get the whole shot in our second moto. Number one, of course, took the first moto. That was Jeff Emig. And Ezra Lusk, credit him with the whole shot. Number two. Is this remarkable, David?
Absolutely. I don't know what. It's probably a little bit frightening to be out front and know that he can't go 100%. He's got this entire field behind him, including first moto winner Emig, who looked like he guessed at the gate a split second before it actually dropped. Surprised he was still able to get a good reaction.
Good clean start by the entire 40-bike field here in the 250s. Ezra Lusk still in first place with Emig right behind him. A reminder for those of you who might not have been listening earlier, Ezra Lusk is riding with a broken arm, and I would think in that situation right there, David, it would hurt the most coming down into those ruts.
Well, anytime you got that G4 situation and the braking bumps entering a corner, there's a lot of pressure on that arm, but the adrenaline, I think, of the moto lead has got to take over here.
Lusk, Emig, Pashone in third, Ward in fourth, and Doug Henry back in fifth. The points leader is in fifth spot. Emig looking for opportunity to get around Lusk. He doesn't want to wait for LaRocco's lead.
Now, and that corner that he made his move on Doug Henry in the first moto that it came through is Lusk is covering that line up the inside. He learned not going to leave the door open there. So Emig's going to be forced to find somewhere else in the racetrack to make that pass, and he's going to have to stay a lot closer to even have that opportunity.
Lusk holding on to a good lead on Jeff Emig. It's allowing everyone else to get into the act as well.
When I heard Lusk was riding, I couldn't even believe it. And here he is leading the moto. That's just unbelievable. That shows how bad this guy wants to win and still believes that he's got a chance at the title.
Oh, look at the crevasses he has to go through. Lusk, Emig, and bunched up Pashone and Ward with Henry on the trail.
Henry all the way on the outside in the grass. Came into that corner a little hot. Boy, what a freight train for the lead. I don't think it's the fact that sometimes you see maybe a privateer who's not quite the caliber of these guys get the whole shot and hold up the show just a little bit, but I don't think Lusk is doing that until they get to that leap right there.
Here's LaRocco's leap. Emig taking the lead on Ezra Lusk. Ezra not letting him off the hook, though. Staying real close. Comes to the inside. Whoa, look out. Bar to bar. And Emig now recapturing the lead.
I don't know if Lusk wanted to ride this hard today. He did stick with his game plan, though, and so he's not going to jump that LaRocco's leap. He didn't. It cost him the lead. He knows he's got to have a pretty good cushion as they head up that hill. Otherwise, he's going to get past that.
So Emig, Lusk, Pashone, and Ward is our top four. And Doug Henry not picking up the slack much on the front four.
No, these guys got a pretty fast pace going right now. There's a lot of roost being thrown back. All four of these guys tossing it up. The track is freshly disked in some spots. So I think Doug's going to wait this out. As long as those guys don't get away out front too much, he'll be patient here.
The crowd jumping up and down as we check the Honda leaderboard. It has not changed since our last one. But look at this. Pashone now is starting to put some heat on Ezra Lusk. And look at Ezra Lusk coming right back on Jeff Emig.
That's just amazing what he's doing. You know, a fresh injury like that, and to go out and just be toughing it out the way he is, challenging for the lead, is just amazing to me.
Davey Coombs thinking it might be interesting to get Mike Gossler's viewpoint on Ezra Lusk's situation, and he's right. Davey.
Mike, I know Yogi's your rider, and he does a lot of things to impress you, but you got to be shocked he's able to run with these guys today with a broken arm.
Yeah, we're pretty much in amazement. The guy, he just gives it his all. You know, he's got a big heart, and I know he wishes he could do some of the jumps out there and hang with these guys, but he's got to give it up a little bit on a couple of the jumps. You know, it's the only thing that bothers him.
Well, I asked him before the race if he was going to try LaRocco's leap if he was out front, and you know, true to form, he laid off.
Yeah, he's being smart. We're just trying to make it through the weekend, then we got a weekend off, and you know, by the next race, Unadilla be back up to speed.
I hate to see him back up to speed if he's already going this fast, Art, but I think the speed he's talking about is through the duration of the day.
And there's a lot more racing to follow when we return. Welcome back to Buchanan, Michigan. It's the 6th round of AMA Motocross coming your way. Jeff Emig, who won the first moto is in the lead here in Moto number 2. LaRocco's leap, we heard it before. Ezra Lusk riding with the 6 screws and a plate in his broken arm, his left arm, not doing the big leap. And that's where the riders are catching up to him. But he's held close to our leader, Jeff Emig, with Mikel Pichon right there in third, number 16.
Reaching up to clear his vision. A little bit better look at these guys. Sometimes you ride around, you can barely see, but you know, and that if you pull that tearaway off, well, you only got one more. You have to time it just right, so you got vision all the way to the end of the moto.
Emig, Lusk, Pichon. And Pichon moving into second place on Ezra Lusk.
Lusk got a little sideways there. Just lost his concentration momentarily, and that was all it took for Pichon to get around. Watch Lusk right here. Grabs a handful, gets really sideways.
Whoa.
Good save.
He was looking at Larry Ward coming his direction as well. Doug Henry, the young man from Oxford, Connecticut, is in back of Ward. Not only is this Emig's favorite track, as Emig is leading in front of Pichon right now, trying to hold on, but he also had a terrific week of practice. And that came after a high-level meeting at Kawasaki, because let's face it, Jeff Emig's contract is up after this year.
Well, as we've said it before, and we've seen the results of guys that have nothing going on for next season, and they start to finish off the year really strong.
Salary drive time.
Yeah, they need some leverage to go into that meeting with. Right now, Emig doesn't have any. He's got that number 1 plate, but he won't have it next year unless he gets on the stick here.
Emig getting some pressure from Pichon. Lusk, an incredible ride for Ezra Lusk and Larry Ward. Jeff Emig, our leader. If he wins, he'll become the 5th different racer to win a 250 national event this year. And we'll see when we get back. Welcome back to Buchanan, Michigan. Art Ekman, David Bailey, and Davey Coombs bringing you the action of our 6th round of AMA Motocross. Jeff Emig, the winner of the first moto today, continues to lead this second moto as we check out the battle for 4th place now. Larry Ward and Doug Henry. Henry started to make a move after getting pretty far behind in 5th place, but Henry now secures 4th place.
He worked hard for that all the way down the inside. They've got LaRocco coming from behind. I think Henry saw that and said, I'm getting out of here.
LaRocco on his home track, a very disappointing 10th place in the opening moto. Ezra Lusk. Now can he hold off Henry?
I think Henry's got to be looking up there at Lusk thinking, how much longer can this guy hang on?
Our Honda leaderboard, you see the order there. Pichon moving into second nicely and starting to pull on the 3rd place rider, Ezra Lusk. But here's the battle right now.
Yeah, Art, I got to think all these guys right around Lusk right now have to be just not hoping, but knowing that Lusk is going to fade in the late stage of this race. But I haven't seen it yet.
His conditioning is still there, but he still, you know, is doing what he said he'd do, and that's not take the big leap.
That's going to cost them down the stretch, but it's starting to get rougher coming up to the face of it. The berms at the bottom of the hill are getting messed up a little bit more and more each lap, so they don't get a good enough run at it. It's getting hard for everybody to do.
Here's Mike LaRocco, number 5 on the Jack in the Box Factory Connection Honda. And right behind him, he just passed Larry Ward. So Mike LaRocco's starting to step it up.
He went through that right-hand corner so fast. I don't know what he found to get that pivot made, but that's why he's moving through the pack. He is.
LaRocco really had high hopes, too, coming into this race because he loves this track, of course. And he's come off 2 4th-place overall finishes in the last couple of events. Jeff Emig's our leader. We'll be right back. Buchanan, Michigan, the 6th round. And can Jeff Emig pick off his first overall victory of the season? It would be a monumental boost for that young man on the Kawasaki as we take a look at Ezra Lusk and Doug Henry battling it out.
Henry's got to be wondering, okay, I'm getting my butt kicked by a guy with a broken arm. Come on. When is this guy going to fade? That's unbelievable. I mean, what he's seeing a little bit here is some of himself. This is the kind of adversity that Doug has faced and gotten through it. So he's got to have a lot of respect for what's going on here. I don't think that'll keep him from making the pass, though.
Doug Henry pulling up close enough to Ezra Lusk. to start showing him a wheel, and of course, if he's that close on Larocco's leap, he'll be able to take the lead there.
I don't think you'll see him stuff him for the pass. I think he's going to try to make this a clean pass. There's a lot of respect between the guys at this level, especially when they're battling through the kind of injuries they have.
Ezra Lusk also having the lappers to contend with.
Well, that's some horsepower right there. That bike just kept pulling. More and more of a wheelie all the way down that straightaway.
Ezra's not willing to give it in. Got to hand it to him. It's Pichon in second place. Jeff Emig in first.
Right around the inside of that sweeper, not giving any space to Doug Henry at all. There's that section again. Oh, that's where the mistake comes. Art, you were right. It's got to hurt going down that hill. And probably was on his mind a little bit.
Doug Henry moving into third.
Forced him into that mistake. As soon as your concentration and your focus slips just a little bit, watch right here. He's just trying to hang on, not have it hurt too much. Gets leaned a little bit to the high side and gives up the position. That's what Doug was hoping for.
And it's the white flag lap for Jeff Emig. You don't think he's not just beaming inside right now? Not only will he become the 5th different rider to win a 250 national event this year, also, it's about the 3rd time in 250 history that all 4, the big 4, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Suzuki, and Honda, will have won an event.
Just imagine if Jeremy McGrath were still in the mix right now. What a season this would be. That's too bad.
Incredible.
It's good for Jeff. I'm glad to see him back up in there. This is going to change everything from here on out because he's a little bit out of the points right now, but look at the guys that are ahead of him. It's not like the kind of guys that are a rock all the way to the end of the season.
I think you're absolutely right, David Bailey. With 6 events left, that's 12 motos, and you get 25 points a moto. If he should gain some momentum in the last 6 races, he still has a good shot at the title. The only thing I wonder about, Doug Henry's headed into some of his most favorite tracks in the last 6 events of the year. We'll be right back as the checkered flag is waving in the air for Jeff Emig.